Okay, so in this short video, we're going to go over a few examples and decide if it's an nPr solution or an nCr, a combination or a permutation. So our first question is, how many different ways can 6 radio commercials be played during the 1-hour radio program? And what I mean by that is that you're going to use all 6 radio commercials, right? And I guess it's implied that each radio, you got paid by the ad company to put them in that hour, so you're not going to not miss. You're not going to miss one of them, and you're not going to repeat them. You're going to use all 6. So this is an nPr. The order matters, but really it's just a factorial if I use them all, right? So if I use all, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots for my commercials, and either one could be the first commercial I use. Once I use that one, there's 5 options for the next commercial, and so on. So this is going to be just 6 factorial, right? Which, if you do it carefully, it's going to be 720, right? So that's 30 times 4, 120 times 6, 720. So this is a permutation. Next example, what's a permutation or just a factorial, right? If you use them all, it's like np n. It's going to be n factorial. Yeah. And that's a good point of why we had that formula that 0 factorial is 1, because if I write npn, the formula was n factorial over n minus n factorial, but it would be n factorial over 0 factorial, and we define 0 factorial to be 1, so this is n factorial divided by 1, so it's n factorial. Yeah, so this is one of the reasons, or the magic of having defined 0 factorial equal to 1, that makes sense. So, okay, next example, a candy store has shipping boxes where customers can select 3 different candies to be packaged and mailed. There are 12 different options for the candies. How many possible selections can be made? So in this one, I am not selecting all 12, right? There's 12 candies to put the boxes, only 3 on each box. So it is the order, I guess, doesn't matter, because if you get them right, I'm imagining you're going to put the 3 candies. So the order is just the boxes of the combination. So this is going to be an nCr. So this is 12C3. Okay. Some of us can start doing this in our head, but you don't have to. I told you there's this calculator that's has it all. So let me go here. This is the calculator I have. So let me clear these. And I'm going to use, it was 12C3 what I want. So I'm guessing if you do nCr, if I type it, see, so I type with my keyboard and my calculator nCr. I use uppercase and lowercase, and it just recognizes the command. So you don't have to navigate here and click on the stat button and click on the nCr, okay? And let me just check one thing. If I don't use... Yeah, even if I don't use uppercase, it recognizes it, okay? So you don't have to write it if you remember what you're doing. So nCr is, I wanted the 12 for n and 3 for r, so 220. So makes my solution here, that's just 220 possible selections of candies. Last example is how many different tests can be made from a test bank of 20 questions if the test consists of 5 questions. So what I mean by that is that sometimes we have, instructors have a test bank of some questions of certain topics, and to create an exam, I pull 5 questions from there to create an exam. So yeah, so every time if I do the same test or the next year, I can pull 5 different questions from the same 20. So the tests are not the same, because maybe one question changed, maybe all of them changed, I don't know. So how many different exams can I make? And I wrote here, to be clear, that the order of the questions matters, because if the first question is the hard one, as soon as you see it, it changes totally your perspective than if the first question is, I don't know, the easier, but easiest of all. So it is a different test, I'm going to say it that way. So the order matters, so that gives us the information that this is an nPr, okay, when the order matters. So I'm going to put this as just 20 P5, and we'll multiply 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16, but it's a lot easier or faster rather to write here nPr. So I'm going to type here, if I erase this, I'm going to type nPr, then you can just fill with 20 and 5, right? So there's a lot. There's 1,860,480 different tests. Okay, and here the tests are different if they're the same questions but shuffled, right? That's how I said. Now, if you wanted to know what if the order didn't matter, just want to know the questions, so then that would be an nCr, and that would be 15,000 different tests. So at least you know when we do these test banks and we use 20 questions to select 5. There are many options there to not repeat exams. And we'll start with that example and do the next one in another short video.